Hey guys, this is Mel, and I am back to talk about my top 5 favorite moments of the season 3 of the original. So sorry for the delay, guys, but let's get right into it. Huge warning, there will be spoilers of season 3 in here. So if you haven't seen it already, I suggest you hold off until you've been caught up and then come back to see what my favorite episodes of the season were. So I'm going to try to do this in 15 minutes, guys, so let's see if I can do it. And let's start the clock. So what was my 5th favorite moment of the season? It has to be episode 13, titled Heart-Shaped Box. And the reason why this is one of my favorite moments is because it marks Nathaniel Bozalik's first present-day return as Cole Michelson. Yes, he's kind of a ghost, but he is called upon by Davina so that she can find a way through him to figure out how to unlink the sire lines from the originals. And in this episode, despite Cole not wanting to help because it would prove to be disastrous for his family, it was revealed that in order to unlink the sire lines, you needed an unsired heart of a vampire. In this case, it would be Haley's heart, because she is the only vampire in existence that is not sired to any of the Michelsons. Which kind of doesn't really make sense for me, because wouldn't she be sired to her daughter Hope, which is how she was turned into a vampire to begin with? I don't know, but apparently Haley's heart is unsired, and because through the unification wedding ceremony that she took place in, Jackson's heart is now a mirror image of her heart. So his heart is also considered an unsired heart, which is how they were able to continue forward with this unlinking of the sire line plan. Which moves on to my 4th favorite moment, and that is episode 314, titled A Streetcar Named Desire. This was one of my favorite moments because of the fact that it was a crossover episode with the Vampire Diaries, because of the fact that Stefan Salvatore was in town. And this also continues with the whole sire lines being unlinking thing. So in this episode, we see that Klaus's sire line was indeed unlinked through the spell that Davina was trying to work on in the previous episode. Elijah's sire line is still intact. He managed to break free before the spell was complete. Also, when Klaus's sire line was unlinked, it confirmed that Stefan belonged to Klaus's sire line, and therefore anyone who was a vampire on the Vampire Diaries was also unlinked as well, though it wasn't mentioned back on the Vampire Diaries, which I thought was odd. So it was confirmed. It was kind of been up in the air since season 3. Yes, Klaus told Stefan that he was the originator of their sire line, but are you really going to take his word since they were trying to kill him at that time? No, so they were cautious, but this episode truly confirmed that Stefan was part of it, therefore Damon was part of it, Caroline was part of that sire line, Catherine would have been part of that sire line, and so forth. So there's that. Also, I liked the episode because of the fact we got to see fight scenes through Rita Cruz as she tries to get her way to Stefan, which he puts the Strix in between them. So it was great to see all that. And it looks like Aya from the Strix recognized Reina Cruz as well. So there's that. Moving on to my 3rd favorite moment of the season. It has to be episode 310, titled Ghost of the Mississippi. And this is mainly because of how the Michelson family was able to trick Tristan into using the medallion against him that he wanted to use on them. Basically, the medallion was meant to put a permanent barrier around its inhabitants where nothing living or dead could walk through it. So basically they tricked him into a container and had him trapped as the medallion was used on the container, and they did that by having Aurora play the bait. Turns out though Aurora was Camille, since at that time Camille was within transition, so she was neither dead and she was neither alive nor was she undead, so she was able to pass through the medallion's barrier and trap Tristan in the container. At first though, I truly thought it was Aurora who was also in the container, because I thought that maybe the Michelsons drained her of any revenge she took so that they can later compel her into completing their plan and trapping both Tristan and Aurora in that container. So when Aurora walks out, that truly blew me away. I was totally shocked, and then finally it was Camille. I was like, okay, brilliant. She was able to do that, able to be part of that, and truly stick it to the people who were part of her killing herself in the previous episode. So it was great to see that. I think I would have liked it better if they managed to compel Aurora into playing that part and trapping both siblings in that canister, but I guess not. It would have prevented a whole lot of mayhem that Aurora pulled later on in the season, that's for sure. So moving on to my second favorite moment of the season, and that has to be the finale, episode 322, titled The Bloody Crown. What I really liked about this episode was the fact that Klaus was able to manipulate Marcel into giving him the Papa Tunde punishment. That is that knife that goes into his chest and causing agonizing torment while he's asleep. Which is what Klaus needed Marcel to do in order for him to keep his family alive, as Freya's solution to save them all was to put them in a deep sleep and have Klaus be the anchor, kind of taking a page out of Dahlia's book in a way. And then she connected herself, Elijah, Cole, and Rebecca together through the Shambhala Shah or something. I still don't know the name of that, so it's on the screen above. So I really like that connection. Kind of sad that Klaus isn't connected as well, though, but the fact that he made that sacrifice for his family was just truly fantastic. The fact that we also got to see Rebecca's return very briefly, play her role, and use her curse to their advantage to get Klaus the result that he needed in order to save them all was amazing, fantastic. It blew me away. And then also to have the little letter that Klaus left for Hope about how he wishes for her to grow up safe and to not mourn him and to know that he did this for their family is just truly fantastic. So I really like the finale for sure, though. So before I move on to my favorite moment of the season, let's go to my honorable mentions, and I got 4 of them for you very quickly, though. Season premiere, that is episode 1, titled For the Next Millennium. What I liked about this episode was because of the flashbacks, and the flashbacks was the first time we got to see all the originals back together. We got to see Claire Holt back as Rebecca. We got to see the original Cole, not the witch Cole. We got to see original Cole, which is done by Nathaniel, and then we got to see the original Finn, done by Casper, back as well. And it was set 100 years after they had turned into vampires, and this was before they found out that they would be able to impersonate nobility, and instead they were on the run and living in the woods and trying to get by as vampires. So it's really great to see those flashbacks, not only for the whole family reuniting together. Last time we saw that was back on season 3 of the Vampire Diaries, so it was great to see all of them together again. And for the first time, also, it was great to see the dynamic they had back then, for sure. Another honorable moment I had was episode 302, which is You Hung the Moon, and it was because of this massive fight that happened between Klaus and Haley. Haley really pushed her punches against Klaus, as she was furious at him for cursing her and her pack into the original Crescent Curse that Marcel had placed in the pack beforehand. So I really like that she really didn't hold back in showing her anger against him. And he didn't really fight her back either, because he knew that he knew what he did was wrong. And then they both stopped when they saw Hope there and walking for the first time. So it was really great, even though them fighting shouldn't be a good thing. It was just great to see that they didn't hold back. Or Haley didn't hold back and Klaus let her. So it was great. Another favorite or memorable moment, or honorable moment, is 319, titled No More Heartbreaks. And everyone will remember this as the episode where Camille died due to Lucian's toxic bite. What I liked about this episode wasn't the fact that Camille died. If you've seen my recap videos throughout season 3, you know that I do not like Vampire Camille at all. But this episode, it truly showed the Camille that it really showed us the Camille that we had lost when she turned into a vampire. So throughout that whole final day for her, she spent it with Klaus, and I really liked the dynamic that we saw between them. It really reminded me of them when she was human. So I really liked that episode because we got to see them like that again before she was gone for good. So there's that. Last honorable moment, 320, titled Where Nothing Stays Buried. And I really like this because of the fact that Lucian was finally killed. His massive plan to become the superior being with the serum was destroyed when Freya tapped into the ancestors' power to reverse the spell. Unfortunately, that the cost for that was Davina's life, but I really like the fact that Lucien was killed in this way, because he really believed that there was nothing stopping him, and that he was truly the ultimate being, which wasn't the case. So I really like that he was knocked down a peg or two at that. So there's that. So let's go. What was my top favorite moment of the season? It has to be episode 9, titled Savior, and that is the Christmas episode. It truly was the best episode, in my opinion. We got to see the return of Claire Holt as Rebecca. We got Klaus and Camille admitting their feelings towards one another and kissing. Fortunately, that was turned into a nightmare when Klaus found Camille dead in his arms, which was the huge cliffhanger of the episode. We also got to see the emotional begging from Rebecca to Elijah to have her dagger when they find out that her curse wasn't gone, and if she remains awake, it will manifest into something greater, so daggering her would temporarily slow it down. So, and also it was great to see a cursed out Rebecca saying things that no one would normally say, but it's stuff that the audience is actually thinking deep down. And then we got the whole holiday family bonding thing. It was truly fantastic. You got a bit of everything from everywhere and everyone. It was just truly a fantastic episode. It was a great one to end. And before the holidays had started, it truly had everything. It really had. I remember it putting me to tears, not only for the way that Klaus found Camille dead in his arms, but also for the really raw emotion between Elijah and Rebecca when she was begging him to dagger her, so that at least they got not only to keep her from going insane, but to also fulfill the third of the prophecy that said that family would turn, one would be killed by family, or one will fall by family. So at least if that's taken care of, Klaus and Elijah wouldn't have to worry about one of them turning on each other. So it was true raw emotion that I really liked seeing in that episode in all forms, whether it's romantic, whether it's heartbreaking, with all of it. It was just fantastic. I remember being truly emotional after that episode, so that was really, really my favorite one for this season. And that's about it. So before I move forward, though, guys, let's go on to the season 4 casting news. As we know before, the premiere date, the originals is put on mid-season, so chances are we are only going to get 13 episodes for season 4. Not really liking that, but yeah, that's all they've given so far. But it looks like we still have Klaus, Elijah, Haley, and Marcel remaining as series regulars. We also have Vincent and Freya continuing on as series regulars. And we also have Cole, that is Nathaniel Bazolik's version of Cole, being upgraded to a series regular for season 4, which apparently was revealed at a convention. However, Claire Holt's status as Rebecca is currently unknown, whether she's still just going to be a special guest, or if she's going to be recurring, or if she is going to be a regular. Not sure about that yet, though. In regards to new casting, though, apparently actress by the name of Christina Moses will be playing Keelan. And according to the article, Keelan is supposed to be a smart, strong, resourceful ER doctor and the last living werewolf of her line. Keelan is openly bisexual, warm, and unguarded by nature, but after the rest of her family was hunted to extinction, she went into hiding, and since then she's deliberately avoided getting too close to anyone. She lives in fear of being discovered by the wrong people and has no idea that she's currently on a collision course with the Michelsons. If the name is unfamiliar, the way I remember Christina is the fact that she plays Jana on the short-lived show Containment on the CW. So she will be coming onto the show. So there's that. Also, San Diego Comic-Con is fast approaching. So for the panel for the originals is set on Saturday, July 23rd, 2016 at 12:50 p.m. to 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time in the Indigo Ballroom. So I'm definitely going to do a video about any of the season 4 spoilers they reveal at Comic-Con, so stay tuned for that video, but I am done with this one. So guys, please let me know what you thought your top 5 favorite moments of season 3 were in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what your own favorites were, see where we differ, and just what were most memorable for you. I'd love to hear about that. So don't forget to give this video a like and thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that will be down below. I'm currently in the process of trying to retag all my links, because as you know, if you click on it on my page, you kind of can't go anywhere. So I'm currently trying to do that on my WordPress, which is also, if you want a detailed recap of what happened in this video, a more explanation of why certain moments are my favorites, check out the WordPress link that's down below. It'll all be there shortly, so go check that out. So yeah, follow me on Tumblr there as well if you want to be in the loop on what I reblog. Slowly updating that. Like I've said, it's a work in progress, but eventually it'll all be up to date, so go check that out. And that's about it. So thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you come back to see what I have to say for the San Diego Comic-Con stuff. Hopefully they might reveal a bit of footage, but who knows, there's a timer. But until then, this is Mel, wishing you all a great day, great week wherever you are. And until then, guys, have a great summer. Bye for now.